I wrote about 2 years ago as a result of our experience in looking at other countries. It's called Choosing the Wrong Drivers for Whole System Reform. So a driver is a policy or a strategy that goes along with a policy that's intended to improve the system. A wrong driver is such a strategy that's intended to improve it, but there's no evidence anywhere in the world that that particular driver has ever worked. If you go down the wrong drivers, here they are. Accountability, wrong driver. Human capital, which is focusing only on individual development, wrong driver. Technology, wrong driver. And ad hoc policies, wrong driver. And if you could picture this, if I had it, I'd put it up on the screen, but down the other side is capacity building compared to accountability, social capital compared to human capital, and instruction compared to technology being the driver, and then more coordinated policies compared to ad hoc policies. The things that I see in your combination is to move away from teacher evaluation as the negative force and instead integrate it in with what we call the team development strategies, to integrate it as part of that. Secondly, to be able to keep investing in early learning, because we know that that has a big effect. And thirdly, to not use strategies that pit people against each other, competitive grants in other words. Because when you pit people against each other, you actually get a win-lose situation. And this is about getting people to see the common destiny that is really integrated with better education systems. Every country that's successful, including some provinces as well as Ontario and the other countries that we work with, all know that investing in the collaborative development of a whole bunch of people who are devoted and relentless and specific and precise about making it better, that's where you get results on a large scale. And we have a category we call distractors, avoid the distractors. And a distractor is when you put money into something that is not a good driver to begin with, but actually then eats up not only money, but time and energy at the expense of how it could be spent. So I'm talking about resources, money for sure, but also people's energy. And one of those that I know that you've introduced recently, your governor has, is teacher evaluation and appraisal. If you think of those drivers, I'm not going to go through them systematically, but the second driver was human versus social capital, if you use the jargon. And when you try to use teacher evaluation and appraisal as the main driver, you end up into a long distraction of wasting time getting data that won't actually influence improvement. And so let me give actually a very simple explanation of this individual versus social capital combination. It's actually a study in New York City done by a business professor, Carrie Liana, who's at the University of Pittsburgh. She took a sample of 135 elementary schools, and she measured only three things: human capital, the quality of the teachers on paper, their competencies; social capital, which was in relation to questions like this, the following question that she asked teachers: to what extent do you in this school work with other teachers in collaboration to focus on improving learning and student achievement? If a lot of students said that's the way we work, or a lot of teachers I should say, said that's the way we work in this school, she said here's a school with higher social capital. And then she measured math achievement, beginning of the year, end of the year. You see where I'm going with this. Schools that had just higher human capital didn't do as well as schools that had higher social capital, and schools that had both, of course, were more effective. And she also found that teachers who were, had fewer qualifications actually did better if they were in a school with social capital. So this is pretty strongly stated. When you think of what I call the wrong driver, so let's take individual development of teachers, a wrong driver. I don't mean it's wrong not to pay attention to it. I mean it's wrong to put all the money on that in order to get the results. That you have to actually reverse it and invest in teachers working together, collaboration, really focused work, the transparency of data, the implementation of all of this, and that's what we're.